Yo, what's up guys, RicRom here again, and I'm going to bring you guys another video similar to my Halo video I did last time about having nostalgia. And today we're going to talk about Overwatch. This time you're just going to see me having gameplay in the background. I'm not really going to be playing while I am recording, because it doesn't really help me get my thoughts across. But yeah, man, I've been having a lot of nostalgia for Overwatch, man. Recently, I think what was it, a few seasons ago or a few months ago, they introduced Overwatch Classic. I downloaded the game just for that, and I replayed it, and I remember just how much I really liked the franchise, or IP as some people would say. And it just reminded me back in, what was it, like around 2016 and like up until like a little bit before 2020, I was really into Overwatch, man. It was a game I remember playing on my Xbox One, on my brother's account. They downloaded the beta because it looked pretty cool, you know, like Blizzard's like new IP. It reminded people, or it kind of like shared some similarities to Team Fortress 2, and around that time Team Fortress was like kind of like its popularity was kind of fading away. I mean, it never really faded away, but this new franchise was kind of like popping off, especially since it was like a new IP from Blizzard and it was coming on consoles. But yeah, I remember just making like a ton of like clips and videos because the Series X or the Xbox One could record gameplay, and that was like one of the first things I could remember like doing on that console, was recording a bunch of gameplay. And me and some friends in high school, we grinded like crazy to play this game, man. We would play this game like right after school just to like hit like competitive notes and stuff, man. We were like console Xbox players, and I would play every event. I would do like every like challenge to get like the loot boxes, and like, you know, try to do like all the free stuff you could get, you know. And like, yeah, I spent a lot of money on loot boxes back then. Yeah, back then loot boxes was the craze. But yeah, man, I'm playing Reaper right now. Reaper is one of my favorite characters, and you know, it's funny, almost like the 10 years this game has been out, right? Like, I think it would be like 10 years next year or this year, I can't remember. But like in the 10 years it came out, dude, nothing ever beats El Blanco for fucking Reaper, man. It's probably still one of the best skins like ever. But the reason I've been having a lot of nostalgia for this game was because they recently brought back 6v6, and I was playing a lot of Marvel Rivals. I played a lot of Marvel Rivals like recently, and I was like, man, how's Overwatch doing? Let's check up on it. And then I did, I think, a little quick review on the K-pop collab, and it was okay, but it just wasn't something that would like really entice me to get back into Overwatch. It wasn't until this recent season that they added like I think they added like a new Juno skin, and Juno was one of my new favorite characters. But yeah, I got back into playing it because they added something like super nostalgic for me. It was 6v6 open role queue, something that Marvel Rivals just like built their identity off of, and that they're not gonna have role queue. And that's something that kind of messed up Overwatch, was having role queue and just like all these insane balances and nerfs. And then later down the road it had a bunch of controversies, and then, you know, all this stuff. And with Overwatch 2 launching, a lot of people just seem to hate the game. And I just had no reason to play it, man. Even though like around I think 2020, 2021, I got my gaming PC, my first gaming PC, and that's when I started to like try playing more mouse and keyboard. But I just never got back into Overwatch, man. It was just a game I just fell out of love with, and I just didn't really care about it. It wasn't until Overwatch 2 came out and I tried playing the first, I think, season was when they added like the first 3 new characters, which was like Kiriko, Sojourn, and Junker Queen. But I really only like Kiriko. But even then, back then, you had to like you weren't able to play her right away. You had to like grind like crazy in the battle pass, and it just wasn't fun, man. It just sucked like crazy. And it's funny then, because I've seen a lot of talk about other recent games that I might get into a little bit later, but it comes back to that conversation I've been having a while like on this channel, was that when there's a lot of like things going wrong in your favorite IP or franchise, that's when you have to like walk away and just like not support it and not give it attention. And then something else comes out, and then competition just breeds like more healthy like innovations into these video games, man. Because for a long time Overwatch was like the dominant hero shooter. I know there was like other games like that I didn't get into, like Valorant and I think Apex Legends, but I just never really got into those. It wasn't my like cup of tea, I guess. But man, like, and I tried Overwatch on and off when they had Ramatra, the season for Ramatra, and then the season for Juno. And I think I played the battle passes, or tried to complete the battle passes for those. and I just was not feeling it, man, because they were still like keen on this idea of 5v5, and 5v5 just sucked so much, man. It was not fun. It was always who's gonna get dominated this round, either your team or enemy team. There was no in between. It was like a full wash, or you're getting washed, and it just was not fun, man. It just felt super unbalanced, and then it just wasn't like cool, because they also promised like a new story mode and all this stuff, and then you have to pay for the story mode, which is like another like what, like $40-$60 just to get it. And then like I heard people don't even play that anymore. Then competitive just got even worse, and then like all this role queue, and then like, you know, the player base just dropped off and it wasn't fun anymore. But let's just jump to today, because I decided to play, like, I decided to reinstall Overwatch because I was really having like a great like need to like play it, man, because I love Marvel Rivals. But I was getting a little burnt out by it because it was something I've been logging in like every day to do my dailies. But then I just was like, you know, I love Marvel Rivals as much as like everybody's playing it right now. But I was just getting like really like nostalgic. I was like, man, what's Overwatch been up to? And then they added this like new I think it was like a skin for Juno, which she is like my new favorite character next to Ramatra. And it was a skin that they had which was like crowdfunding, like a crowdfunding skin. And it reminded me of like back in MKX when they would do that for like an Ermac skin, and it was just for like the tournaments. And I was like, okay, that seems pretty cool. I mean, regardless of how much you think it should be, I did buy the skin, and it was like, you know, that I have buyer's remorse a little bit, but it was something I was like, you know what, I kind of want to get the skins for Juno. And I was just like looking around at all the stuff that they were doing, and they added this thing called perks. And you'll see it in the video too. I think when I was playing Reaper, you can get like souls back, and then you can even get this thing that I've been wanting for years, which for Reaper, which is like the double pump, or like the double shot for Reaper, you know. And I thought it was really cool. And I was like, damn, this is kind of feeling like old school Overwatch, you know, because there's no role queue. It's 6v6, but it also just feels like a new innovation, like a new step forward to the franchise. It actually does feel like it's starting little by little earning its name Overwatch 2, because I'm pretty sure they're saving the skill trees and all that stuff for like other game modes. I heard that they were making like a stadium by the time this is out. It's probably already like confirmed. It's probably already out in playtest, but I'm not really like big on the third person mode for Overwatch. But yeah, man, it was just like, it just looked like they were just like turning stuff around. Like there's a lot of stuff that they're like really trying to put a lot of effort into. And I think the director even said that one of the directors, one of like the big higher up of the dev team, was like, yeah, we're really paying attention to Marvel Rivals, and that's really making us want to like, you know, combat them, or like having like competition, you know, like I said earlier, when it comes to other fighting games or other games in general. But yeah, I was just having a lot of fun playing these games, man. Like I have not dipped my toe back into the competitive. I think I'll do that when the new season drops. But yeah, but they look like they've been trying to turn some things around. They brought back loot boxes, and although I'll never justify like the very expensive skins, I thought it was pretty cool that they are kind of like bringing back older skins and like recolors. Although a lot of people just hate how like expensive they can get. That's a price point, a price range I'm not gonna like try and justify, you know, especially if some of the skins are really cool. But if it's like almost the price of another game, I'd probably skip out on it, or unless it's a collab you like. I know. Oh, the other thing I want to talk about too is that they announced the Overwatch that Gundam collab, which is something I'm gonna be waiting for and seeing, because for those of you who don't know, if you're not like a big Gundam fan or Gundam Wing fan, this is the 30th anniversary for Gundam Wing, which is like a very like important show when it comes to Western like anime coming to the Western audience. But that's a different video for another day. But yeah, man, I was just having like a lot of fun playing Overwatch. I'm really having a lot of fun playing Juno. That's like my favorite character. I do play a bit of Kiriko later, because I tried playing Kiriko a lot when the Overwatch 2 first came out, and Ramatra is still one of my favorite characters of like all time. Man, they really like struck lightning with Ramatra. But it's sad that they don't really give him a lot of attention when it comes to skins. So I still have the Megatron skin on him. But yeah, man, it really does look like they're turning stuff around. They're really trying to cater to their audience, and they're trying to like pump out as much content as they can, because Marvel Rivals has just been lighting like a fire up their ass, and they're like, man, we really gotta like go on the full gear and like bring back our player base. And yeah, and also the other thing that just got me a lot of nostalgia was I was cleaning my room a bit, and I found like a bunch of like Overwatch Nandroids I used to buy like on clearance and stuff, and I was like, man, this game has really fallen like off. You know, when the game first came out, it was like a whole mania shit, dude. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was like playing it and shit, and it was just such a worldwide like phenomenon. But nowadays, it's just like a game that people don't look fondly on, and it's justified too, because there's a lot of empty promises that they left, a lot of controversy, and a lot of like changes in direction that wasn't the best. But I've been having fun with it, man. If I get bored from Marvel Rivals, or like I don't want to play like Halo MCC, I get my other shooting game fixed by Overwatch, because it was a game I just really love, man. A little RicRom lore drop here. I used to make a bunch of like Overwatch videos too. I think the oldest video I have on my channel is like an Overwatch video with Genji. You know, Genji is one of my favorite characters. I have a few gold weapons with some of the characters, and Genji's I think was the first one I got for him. It sucks too, because I was looking back at my competitive points, and like since I haven't played in years, I almost had 3,000 to get another gold coin, but I mean another gold weapon, but they just changed it to coins, which sucked. But yeah, man, if you guys are like having nostalgia for it, or like just want to see what Overwatch has been up to, I would give it a try right now, especially with perks, because that seems like a very good like direction to the future. It really does feel like a sequel. That's how it should have launched, honestly, with perks, because then you get like these new things you can do with the characters. To me, it kind of reminds me of like, you know, when Street Fighter went from Street Fighter to like Super Street Fighter, or when they had like the new, like, you know, like the super meters. That's kind of what it reminds me of, man. Or like a new gimmick for each character, and I really much enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it like a lot. But at the same time, there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed, like maybe like queue times and stuff. And there's a lot of broken characters. A lot of characters need to be reverted back to their old game. It's like, dude, fighting an Orisa nowadays just feels like a boss battle. Moira's still pretty powerful. A lot of characters still pretty powerful, but the whole 6v6 just helps it, man. But yeah, they look like they've been trying to like fix a lot of things. I know they did a live stream. Is this enough to like win back the player base? Probably not. But it is something that they're trying to like fix, man. It's been what, like almost like 2+ years of them just like messing up a bunch of stuff. But now I think it's warranted to like give it a shot and make your judgment there. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna try and play through the new season. I'm really gonna be trying grinding competitive, because I want to get a gold weapon for either Juno or Reaper, because that's been long overdue. I've been wanting to get a gold weapon for Reaper, or I think even maybe like Diva. I don't really play Diva as much. But yeah, man, I miss Overwatch a lot. I was having a lot of nostalgia for it, and it's just been something I've been having fun with. And I actually learned mouse and keyboard on this game. Well, actually, it was actually more like I would say like I've learned a little bit on Fortnite, but I tried grinding Overwatch 2 when it first came out with mouse and keyboard, and it was such a culture shock too, because I used to play this game all the time on controller, and then having to jump from that to mouse and keyboard was just a big change for me. But yeah, man, I really missed Overwatch. I am playing this, you know, regardless of what people say and how cringe it might be. But I was having a lot of fun, man. I missed my characters. I missed Reaper, Genji. I miss Hanzo. I miss my girl Diva. And I'm loving the new characters too. I love Ramatra, Juno, and Kiriko. The other characters I really don't really give a fuck about, because I don't really like their designs, and they just don't pop out to me. I think some of them might be like a little bit too OP, so I'm not really like keen on playing top tiers. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get this video out here because I just wanted to share my thoughts. But yeah, I was having a lot of nostalgia for Overwatch, and this has been RicRom signing out, showing you guys a different side of what I like to do when I'm gaming. But yeah, as always, I want you guys to take care, and until next time, I await your return, Warriors.
Continue.